Hello everyone, I am Hu Ke from Huawei Learning Services Department. Today, we will talk about LTE, signaling, and the protocols. This is the daily life of the smartphone. Actually, for our smartphone, it's quite busy for each day. From the power on to power off, the smartphone, they will do a lot of business. Here, look at these pictures. After the UE power on, when we are free, UE will do the paging procedures and the TAU procedures. When we are busy, if we set up the services by this cell phone, the cell phone will do the dedicate barrier procedures and also perform the handover procedures. After all of this, when we power off the UE or the cell phone, the UE will do the detach procedures from the power on to the power off. No matter we set up the services or we don't use this cell phone anymore, the cell phone will do all of these procedures. Actually, it's quite busy. This is the daily life of smartphones. Sometimes, smartphone do all of these procedures by himself. Sometimes, the mobile phone need the assistance of the network. Let's look at the architectures of the network. In the right part of these circles, this is the core network, and in the left part, this is the device for the radio network. In the core network, we can see in these circles, this device is the core network. We have many different devices in the core network. For the radio access network, we only have one device. We call it eNode-B, involved Node-B, which integrate the functions of UTRAN or BSS used in UMTS or GSM network. It mainly controls the radio resource. And for the core network, we have MME. Here, MME means Mobility Management Entity. Provide the functions such as mobility management, UE identification, and the security. Here, the MME works in the control plane, process the signalings. Besides the MME, in the core network, we also have SGW and the PDN-GW. SGW here means serving gateway. PGW here means packet data network gateway. SW and the PGW, they works in the user plane. They process the user traffic. So, the interface between MME and the eNode-B, we call it S1C. Here, C means control, which means the MME only process the control message and the signaling. They works in the control plane. And the interface between SW and the PGW with the eNode-B, this interface we call it S1U. U here means user, which means SW and PGW, they works in the user place. SW terminate the S1 interface to EUTRAN, and the PGW terminate the SGI interface to the PDN, Packet Data Network. Let's look at the control plane protocol stack. Actually, here, this is the eNode-B. The RM, Radio Resource Management, and the RC functionalities are moved from RNC, BSC to the eNode-B. UE and the MME and the core network, they have the signaling. The signaling between UE and the MME, we call it NAS signaling. The signaling between the UE and the eNode-B, we call it RC signaling. And the signaling between the eNode-B and the MME, we call it S1 signaling. All of this is the signaling. All of this signaling processed in the control plane, transmitted and received in the control plane. And from these pictures, we can see the protocol stack for the control plane. The red arrows shows the signaling flows for the control plane from the UE to the core network. Actually, these red arrows shows the NAS signalings. Take the UU interface as example. The NAS signaling actually is generated in the NAS layer of the UE. Start from here, and from top to down, goes through all the protocol layers, one layer after one layer, until the NAS signaling reach to the physical layer of the UE and transmitted by the physical layer of the UE. And also received by the physical layer of the other side. Here is the node B, it's the E node B. E node B use the physical layer, receive the NAS signaling, and send the NAS signaling to the upper layer. It will go up. Also, like the previous part, one layer after one layer go up, go up, go up, go up. Finally, reach to the higher layer of the E node B. And then E node B will use S1 interface, will use those protocols, transmit the NAS layer to the core network. Okay. Here we have two interfaces. The air interface, also we call it UU interface, and also the S1 interface. Air interface, they have those protocol layers, protocol stack, and the S1 interface, they have those protocols. These protocols in the S1 interface actually the same like the TCP/IP protocols. We can see that we also have the layer 1, layer 2. Here, the S1 interface layer 1 is the physical layer, but this physical layer actually is based on the cable, based on the fiber. And the layer 1 is the data link layer, and the layer 3 is the network layer. And here, the network layer protocols is the IP protocols, because in LTE network, all the transmission protocol, the network protocols, is based on the IP. Then the layer 4 is the transmission layer. In the transmission layer, we are not using TCP or UDP protocols for the signaling processing. Here, because this is the protocol for the control plane, only process the signaling. So that's why we use SCTP, Stream Control Transmission Protocols. Use this kind of protocols to process the signaling. Actually here, this red arrow shows the NAS signalings. And in the application layer is the S1 application protocols, process the S1 signaling. So actually, the NAS signaling goes through the UU interface, then goes through the S1 interface. In the UU interface, the NAS signaling is encapsulated by the RRC signaling, because between the UE and the E node B, they have RRC signalings. The NAS signaling is encapsulated by the RRC signaling, and also in the S1 interface, the NAS signaling is encapsulated by the S1 signalings. Finally, reach to the core network. Okay. This is the protocol stack for the user plane. For the user plane, here, the red arrows shows the user traffic flows. From the UE, then sent to the E node B, then from SGW to the PGW, goes through the UU interface, S1 interface, and the S5, S8 interface. Like the signaling, here, this red arrows shows the flow of the traffic, the user data, goes through all the protocol stack, one layer after one layer. Inside the UE, from higher layer, go down, go to the bottom. From IP layer, then go to the physical layer. Also, in each interface, it's the same. This is the IP data user traffic from UE, go to the core network. And actually, the termination is not the core network. The termination is the internet or some other network, like IMS for the VoIP, voice over IP. Let's have a summaries for these sections. In these sections, we talk about the network structures and related network element. For example, we have radio access network and the core network. For the radio access network, we have E node B, only one element. For the core network, we have MME, SW, and the PGW. MME process the signaling. SW and the PGW process the user traffic. And also, we talk about the protocol stack for the control plane and the protocol stack for the user plane. Control plane is a plane between different devices, and this plane is processed for the signaling. User plane actually is used for the user traffic, user data. That's all for these chapters. Thanks for watching.